Hare Krishna. So once again, it's a great honor and pleasure for me to be here at the Harrow Jamin, and it is one of my highlights when I visit England, come to London, to come here for the Harrow Jamin and see how the narrow viewpoints are changed at Harrow. So it's definitely a great pleasure and honor, and thanks to all of you for being here this evening despite being exam going. Some of you are, how many people are going for exams now? That's quite a lot. And despite exams, all of you have taken the time out to be here, so my deep gratitude. This evening, the topic that I was asked to speak on is revolution through resolution, which basically means trying to bring a revolution in the world, spiritual revolution, by personal resolution. This world has seen many, many revolutions. The whole world is full of revolutions for that matter. Technology and science, what a massive revolution. Imagine human life 3 decades back and imagine human life today. The kind of communication systems, the kind of interactions, social interactions we have in the field of social media. My God, just too much, isn't it? Earlier people weren't even able to do that. A man was once gymming in a gym, very popular gym. And after all his exercise and workouts were done, he came to the change room to put his clothes on. And as he was putting his clothes on, suddenly the phone rang, the cell phone. And this man picked up the phone. So the lady there at the other side of the phone, he said, "Hey darling, you know something? I'm at the shopping mall and I've just seen an albino pink suit, dress. Can I get it please?" He said, yeah, how much does it cost? She said, well, it's not too much, it's just about 2,000 quid. So 2,000 quid, not a problem. Go ahead. Honey, but I must tell you something. I just saw iPhone 5S, and it's studded with diamonds. It's real diamonds. How much does it cost? It just costs about 50,000 quid, honey. Can I get it? No problem, go ahead. But I must tell you something, I also have seen a fantastic car, and old car is not really good, I want to get this car. It's a new Merc. Can I get it? How much? It's about 400,000 quid. Can you bargain a little bit, bring it down to 300? No, okay, no problem, go ahead. She said, thank you darling, thank you so much, you've given me permission to get all of these things. Then she hung up. And after she hung up, then the guy said to everyone else in the room, whose phone is this? Because you can pick up the phone and keep saying yes, but it was someone else's phone. Well, I remember when I was a child, to make a phone call was so hard. And today, God, even if you are in the Antarctica, someone can contact you there, People can contact you in the Antarctica. Too much. And therefore, technologically, there has been such a massive revolution. How many of you have an iPhone 5S? 2, 3, 4. Do you know that there's an app called Cycloramic? You don't? You live in London? My God. I thought people are always wondering, how do you know all these things? Look at the color of your dress, look at the hairstyle, you're supposed to be a monk. And what is this? You seem to be a very updated monk. Very much in touch with the times, and you know what's happening in the world. I do actually. To say the least, I do. I have it on my phone. Cycloramic. What's cycloramic? You pull your phone out, shall I? I think we'll lose time in our talk. If you want to see what it is, you can come to me later. And you don't even have a surface like that. You need a very glossy glass surface. You keep your phone vertically on top of that surface. And you turn the app on, and the phone starts rotating 360 degrees and takes a panoramic video or a panoramic photograph of the whole room. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I'll show it to you. Not now, please. We'll lose on our time. You know, just take the phone out, pull it out of your cover, and put it like this. That's all. And turn the app on. You will see the whole phone rotating 360 degrees and takes a panoramic picture. Man, you remember those photo cameras with films in there? And you have to give it to the studio and you develop those films and you print it into a positive. Goodness, what a hassle. And then you put all those prints into a photo album and you say, yeah, this is when you were a child, beta. They were looking like when you were a child, beta. Gone are those days, you know. My God, technology and science. What a revolution. What a revolution. Yes, the world has seen a revolution like that. Politically, the world has seen such a massive revolution even from the political point of view. You know, so many isms, capitalism, socialism, communism, nationalism, so many isms. Revolutions in the world, and all revolutions in the world have only been directed and aimed at one thing truly. And the one thing is, how do we try and change the quality of life and the quality of the world that we live in? What's technology and science all about? How do we change the quality of life? How do we improve and enhance the quality of life? How do we enhance the quality of the world that we live in? How do we enhance the quality of interactions that we have with each other? It's all based on this principle of trying to enhance the quality. Political revolutions, for a few, have been filling their pockets, of course. You know, there was an Indian politician who went to Japan, and there was a Japanese politician. So he met a Japanese politician and went to his home, and he saw a massive mansion, a massive home. So the Indian politician asked the Japanese politician, "Sir, such a massive mansion, how did he do it?" He said, "Come in." They took him to the window. Can you see that? Out there, out of the window. He asked him, "No, it's not for you to see." Everyone's looking at the window, what do we have to see? He asked him, so he was looking out of the window, said, "Can you see there?" He said, "What?" "Can you see the river there?" He said, "Of course." "Can you see the bridge over the river?" He said, "Of course." He said, 50%. 50% of the money sanctioned by the government for the bridge went in my pocket. So the guy said, "When you come to India, please come to my home as well, you know." So when the Japanese politician came to India, he went to the Indian guy's home, Indian politician's home, and he saw that the mansion was 10 times larger. He said, "How, sir?" He said, "Come in." Took him to the window. He said, "Can you see the window?" He said, "Can you see what's there?" "What?" "River." "Can you see the bridge?" He said, "No." He said, 100%. You just took 50%. I took the whole 100% and look at the size of my mansion. So yes, political revolutions for a few have been filling their pockets and their bank accounts. But many a time political revolutions have been directed towards a change, a positive change, enhancing the quality of life, enhancing the quality of the world that we live in, enhancing the facility for all of us. Yes, there have been revolutions. Technological revolutions. Tell you something there, you know. Political revolutions. India is going through elections. How many of you are in tune? Oh, some of you. How many of you are for Modi? How many of you are for Rahul Gandhi? How many of you say, "We don't care, man, we live in London, what the hell we care for Rahul Gandhi or Narendra Modi, whoever comes there, no problem." Okay. Okay. It's a big thing. And then the economic revolution, financial revolution. The money that people have today, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the amount of money that people have today, they use the word that they are filthy rich. What a word, isn't it? I mean, money is filthy. Filthy rich. Sometimes he's dirty rich. I mean, look at the phrases. What's the message? Money is dirty, money is filthy. So why are we all running after it? Funny. Dirty rich. Filthy rich. When I come to England, I visit the home of a gentleman here in England. His home costs, want to listen to the cost of the home? £100 million. I don't think you know how to convert. I don't think you know the zeros. £100 million. You know what I mean? £100 million. And then about 50 million to refurbish the house. Woo! Too much. I went to a program, one lady, she had a purse. And my friend was sitting with me. Of course, many celebrities were there, so this Bombay. So then some Bollywood people also. I won't tell who. You can come and ask me in private. I'll tell you whom I was talking to from Bollywood. You will say, Prabhuji, good, you reached somewhere in life. So this lady had a purse. You know how much that purse cost? The cost of that purse? Want to hear? £10,000. £10,000. I asked my friend, if she spent £10,000 on the purse, is there anything left inside the purse? Very good. My God, the kind of money people have today. Economically, there has been a massive revolution. Money is not much valued these days. The other day at the base I was telling, and if you're a Gujarati, how many of you are Gujaratis here? તમારા પાસે બેકાર છે કે નહીં? બેકાર નથી તો તમે બેકાર. If you don't have bekar, then you are bekar. In India, Gujarati, Marwadi and Sindhi communities, when it comes to financial revolutions, economic revolutions, they know how to do it. And don't worry, I'm not mocking you. If you are Gujaratis, I'm a Marwadi. From a similar community, one Marwadi and a Chinese guy, both were going in a train, And as they were going in a train, a mosquito came and sat on the head of the Chinese guy. So he just picked it up and ate it. But then a mosquito came and sat on the head of the Marwadi guy. He picked it up and said, will you buy it? He can turn any opportunity into business, Well, literally, the Marwadi Gujarati community, and shall I tell you one Guju one? There was, in a school, haberdashers, Habs. A teacher came to the classroom and said, kids, I'm asking you a question. If you give me the answer right, I'll give you 100 quid. Get it? Okay. So, a Scottish boy raised his hand. He said, St. Matthew! St. Matthew! Teacher said, that's the most worshipable person in history? St. Matthew boy raised his hand. St. Andrew! That's the most worshipable person in the world? Wrong! Then Kalpesh Patel. Kalpesh Patel raised his hand. The teacher had got used to the name, so she said, Kalpesh. British teacher, Kalpesh. Yes. What's the answer? And Kalpesh said, Jesus Christ. So, wow, that's right. Here's your 100 quid. After the school was over that evening, the teacher called Kalpesh in a corner and said, Kalpesh, who the Hindu aren't you? How did you say Jesus? Kalpesh said, I know it is not Jesus. Krishna is the most worshipable, but business is business, no? So if you can make 100 quid out of saying whoever, I can say you are God, I'm God. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, the world has seen a massive revolution in technology, in science, in economy, in finance, in politics. There have been revolutions after revolutions after revolutions, most often, if not always, directed to change the quality of life. The question, however, is, have these revolutions been successful to change the quality of our lives? Have these revolutions made our lives better? Have these revolutions made the world better? Have these revolutions made us better as human beings? Is a question. Can I ask you a question? If one of your friends gets a birthday gift from the parents, and the birthday gift is a Jaguar, red in color, or probably a Lamborghini, yellow, slick, posh, upmarket, you feel happy? And you are still on your bike. Let's keep the Lamborghini aside. One of your schoolmates, do you use the word mates here? Schoolmates, college mates? Because in America it's offensive to say mates. When you say mates it means in the prison mates, that's the connotation. So you can't say a classmate, a college mate. That's a wrong word there in America. That's why I have to be sensitive to these things. So you use the words mate. So one of your classmates who's studying with you stands first, and you were always the person who stood first. How do you feel? Great. You celebrate the success of others. You feel, wow! Great! Amazing! I remember how when I was in college, I stood first every semester of my engineering days. And the last semester, which meant a gold medal, and such an accolade, you know. Worked hard for it, strived hard for it, endeavored hard for it, as all of us do, and we must. All of you are exam going, and we must. As a service to God, as a service to our family, as a service to the world, we must work hard. I remember, hard. Last semester, just for 4 marks, I lost my first rank in the whole state of Maharashtra, which is a massive state in the country. I stood second in the state. I wept and cried. Our life's dreams were shattered. It meant so much to me. And all of us have experienced this, right? Our expectations being shattered, our dreams being turned down to the soil. My God. Of course, my father was a very nice man, and he helped me handle it and go through that trauma because of having lost something that I always dreamt of. I didn't feel all that great because my friend had taken the first position. We were very close friends. We still are. I like him very much, and I have lost touch with him 18 years now. More than 18, in fact. I'm trying to touch base with him. But I remember there's something in there, you know. Any of you ever experienced this feeling of envy? Thank you. Any of you ever experienced the feeling of egotism? It has to be my way, and if it's not my way, I'm disturbed. Any of you ever experienced the feeling of anger and frustration because of your expectations being disappointed? Thank you. Any of you ever let hell loose by saying it, what we would call a tantrum? Thank you. Any of you ever held grudges against someone in your minds and your heart, and you're not able to take it out? you. And if you've ever experienced arrogance in your hearts, although externally you're so sophisticated and polished. Hello. How are you doing? Everything going nice, yeah? Cool? Thank you. Thank you. And internally, can an iPhone 5S change the envy in the heart? Can the best technological revolutions, with the best gadgets, with the best scientific inventions and discoveries, with all the statistics, information that we have at hand, has it changed the quality of human interactions? Has it changed the quality of our consciousness? I doubt. I doubt. And what about political revolutions? This party or that party, whoever is the ruling party, whoever is the Prime Minister of the country, and we should definitely have the right people up there, no doubt, because governance is indeed important, whether it's England, whether it's India, whether it's the United States. Without proper governance, we don't have rights to practice our freedom in terms of what we want to do. Definitely governance is important. Has it changed the state of our consciousness? So much money, so much money. Has it changed the state of consciousness? I would say it has added on to arrogance. It has added on to envy. It has added on to egotism, where people have had an air around them thinking that here I am driving in a slick Lamborghini and look at that guy going on a bike. A tribal aborigine. You know what I mean? You wear brands and people brand you by brands. Funny, isn't it? I hate to be branded. I don't want to be accepted based on what I have. I want to be accepted for who I am. Why should I be accepted by what I have? People are accepting me. Why? Because I have an iPhone, because I have this, but I am wearing a Versace. Not me. Everyone's looking, where's your Versace? I once went to Punjab, and some of my closest friends are Sikhs, you know. So they're very good people. Some of the sweetest relationships I have is with some of my very dear Sikh friends. And one of my Sikh friends was wearing a turban which was Nike. I said, my God, they've really capitalized on the market. So my dhoti is not Versace, don't worry. Otherwise you say, Prabhuji, what you also wear branded, huh? I remember once someone gave me a jumper, one devotee in London. I didn't know what it was. I just put it on, I went for a program and I didn't know what brand or what, who cares? For me, warmth is important. And during the talk it was so warm, so I took the jumper off. And even you take a jumper off while you're giving a talk, you take it off the other way. You know, it comes off ulta. And now you can't make it straight while you're giving a talk, so I kept it there. And people sitting in the front were only looking at my jumper. I said, why are they so distracted? And after a while I found out, later after the talk, one guy comes up to me and says, Prabhuji, you also use brands, huh? I didn't expect this from brahmacharis. I said, man, I didn't buy it. I don't know what a brand is. I don't know what brand this is. Someone's given it to me. Prabhuji, this is a very cool brand in London, huh? Be careful. So now I don't take my jumpers off. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know how rich you are, count all those things that you have that money cannot buy. Don't count all those things that money can buy. If you have those things, it's good. But that's not it. So my question then to all of you young men and ladies is this, that with all these revolutions, has it truly changed the quality of our life and our consciousness? I doubt. And therefore the topic for this evening, this is the warm-up. I'll finish on time, don't worry, not 1 second late. As the clock touches 9:30, I am done. And if you want it finished earlier, I'll finish now. That's the end of the talk. The message is gone. Shall we stop now? What do you all say? Otherwise you say revision has to be done. You can revise while I'm speaking anyway. No problem. People sleep in my classes. That's okay. One time one devotee at the Bhaktivedanta Manor, I was giving a talk, he was sitting like this gentleman here, and he was sleeping. He's not. He was sleeping. And not just sleeping, he was snoring. It's too much. Background music to my talk. Yes. We live in an age today where our phones are cordless and our cars are keyless. Our communication is wireless and our cooking is fireless. Our food is fatless. Our sweets are sugarless. Our attitude is careless. Our arguments are baseless. Our relationships are meaningless. Politics, not always, sometimes, is shameless. Education many times is valueless. Youth is jobless. Needs are endless. Salaries are less and less. Life becomes hopeless. I believe because our civilization is godless. And saying so, I'm speechless. A revolution, an internal revolution in the cosmos of our consciousness is created by a spiritual path. No politics, no technology, no economy can bring an internal revolution. We can change externals. We can help people change lifestyles. We can't help people change life. It's easy to change a lifestyle. You just put on certain brands, your lifestyle is changed. You just get the right accent there. And you have it right. Don't speak this in it kind of English. Don't worry about it. You can say whatever you like. When you talk Queen's English with the right kind of diction, that's what means English. You know what I mean? Put up an accent, you can carry the people along with you. People are with you. When you have a charisma and you talk in a certain way, well, you can do it all externally. All this revolution's fine. I think we need a change here. A revolution here. Are you all with me? Yeah. So soft. God-based changes, spiritual changes are all based on a personal resolution. The topic for this evening is spiritual revolution by personal resolution. How many of you made resolutions in life? How many of you made resolutions for exercise? How many were successful? How many of you made resolutions? I'm putting too much weight. I have, tires around my belly now. I don't need any extra floats to swim. It's right there. Jump in and you can float without any floats around you. Abhishek. He's so thin, he'll drown. He doesn't even have a float around him. Oh my God. You made resolutions, sometimes you don't want to eat things. You want to cut down on your eating. How many have made say, I want to cut down on my eating all the sweets and savories and cheesy cheese. Or like cheesy pizza, not the wrong cheesy meaning. Not the slang cheese, the literal cheesy pizzas. Once I decided, that I should cut down on sweets. And the same day an acquaintance of mine came to Bombay and said, I just came from Switzerland and I bought some Lindor for you. I said, Prabhuji, I don't eat chocolates. No, Prabhu, not chocolate. It is white chocolate. Without cocoa. And that day I took a vow in front of the deities. For the next 6 months I won't touch a sweet. And I said, thank you, I accepted it. And I said, thank you. And I kept saying in my mind, kept cursing them in my mind. You couldn't come one day earlier. You had to come today. If you could come one day earlier, I would have finished the whole box. Next 6 months I'm anyways not having. And then I kept calling one brahmachari at a time, and they were like 25 bars, big size, lint on, and each one is so expensive. I kept calling the brahmacharis and saying, Prabhu, for you. And they were saying, you won't take? No, I'm okay, you take it. And it's all for you. Selfless seva. As soon as you make a vow, you make a resolution, you're tested for it. Anyone had that experience? As soon as you decide you want to do it, immediately you're tested for it. From today on, I shall go for running, and it rains cats and dogs. And you say, not today. Go for a jog. Not today in that weather. Tomorrow. And tomorrow, it's a very busy schedule today. Tomorrow. It's a weekend. I'll start from Monday. How many people thought like that? I'll start from Monday? Any of you? I'll start my revision from Monday? Oh, good. Look at that. Srila Prabhupada used to say, so, they are making resolution after resolution, and resolution, then dissolution, and they have no solution. Prabhupada was humorous, Resolution, dissolution of the resolution, and no solution. Ladies and gentlemen, personal resolutions and personal change in our life internally can bring about a big spiritual revolution in the world. Okay, I'm asking you a question now. How many of you believe that if you change, you can change the world? Sitting here in London, doing whatever little you do in your universities and trying to practice Krishna consciousness to whatever little degree you could, how many of you believe that your presence here, doing whatever little you do, can actually make an impact in the world out there? Okay. Shall I tell you a short story? There was once a little boy, and the father was watching soccer. So the little boy, he was like bugging the father, constantly disturbing him. And the father was like, focused on the television screen, absolutely. So the son was like fidgety and doing all kinds of things. So the father realized he had a newspaper in front of him. So he had the world map on the newspaper. The father tore the world map into pieces to make it into a jigsaw puzzle and put all the pieces in front of the child and said, son, put it all together. He made like 100 pieces, which means 2 hours gone, 4-year-old. And soccer match peaceful. And the son did it in 5 minutes and came back to the father and said, Dad, done. The father was surprised. How did you do it, man? The son said, very simple. I just turned all the pieces the other way around. On the other side of the newspaper was the picture of a man. He said, I just put the man together. Because if you put the man together, you put the world together. The world map on the other side and the man's picture on one side. If you put the man together, you can put the world together. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all people who make the world. If people decide to change, the world changes. Not technology. If technology changes, the world doesn't change. Political revolutions come, the world doesn't change. Money comes into the world doesn't change. But when we as people, as human beings, decide to change, the world changes. And the kind of change that happens in the world is unbelievable. Believe me, I have witnessed hundreds and hundreds of examples in the last 18 years of my sojourn in the society of personal transformation and change leading to an impact of people of this world. Put the man together, we'll put the world together. You change and you lead that legacy of change, and as people transform, collectively, people put together as the world. And therefore I truly feel There is no other way but to change ourselves if we want to change the world. I don't know if you ever heard the song. In my childhood, I used to like this song. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Let's start giving. There's a choice for making. We're saving our own lives. Have you heard this song earlier? Some of you probably have. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. We are the world. People are the world. And it's people in this world, every individual, believe me, if each of you decide to transform internally and change your life, you're making a better world. One step towards a better world. Changes, positive or negative, have a powerful impact. Small changes, little changes, can add to a massive revolution. You know, how many of you have flown American Airlines? No. If you've been to America, you probably flew an American Airlines. If you haven't, don't worry about it. American Airlines probably in the early 80s, they were running through a massive loss. You know what they decided? They just decided to cut down on one olive. They just decided to cut down on one olive served in salads on the business class, not even economy. Only in the business class, one olive less in each salad served. They saved $40,000 that year, early 80s. Small change. A small little change. We don't want to make big changes. We don't want to take big steps. One small change can add up to a big revolution. You know when the plane flies in the sky? Aeroflot Airlines in Moscow, when I once flew, the air stewardess came up to me and said, "Welcome to our flight, sir." Thank you. I said, "We guarantee takeoff." Landing, hallelujah. Oh my God. A plane's flying in the sky, it goes few degrees off the course. Instead of reaching Aberdeen, it reaches Moscow. A little change, positive or negative, can lead to a massive difference. This evening, to conclude in the next 20-25 minutes, I want to give all of you a quick formula to bring in that inner change. How do we bring that change? And hope you will look at it carefully and see how to deal with these aspects in your personal life. The formula I have for change is change, which is an acronym, and C in the change stands for connect. Connect. Unless one is connected to Krishna, unless one is connected to the Supreme Lord, the internal change does not happen. What will you put? Some detergent to clean the ecology of the heart, some detergent into the air, turn the machine. Clean. No envy, no ego. You know? In order to clean the internal systems of our heart and our consciousness, we need to connect. Last year, when I went to Villa Vrindavan for the Pandav Sena trip, oh, what a trip it was. How many of you were in the PS2 class? How many of you remember the ghost dog? How many of you remember Dr. Mithun? Gosh. How many of you remember Akash, whose nose was bleeding? Chirag's nose was bleeding in that ghost talk. Was it you who was bitten by the wasp? She got stung by a wasp in the darkness of the night. And this Mithun just overdid his prank. And everyone was scared to death. How many of you remember it was really scary? Those who were on the trip. Some of the girls started crying loudly. Some girls, I don't know if they're here, they started crying. And the guy who was doing the video, Alpesh was there. Remember Alpesh? He was there at the trip. he was doing the video, and I saw a clip of that video. He was so scared, he screamed. So the only sound in the video is his screaming. The video man. How many of you were there for the Halloween talk I did here? Some of you were there for the Halloween talk, the ghost talk that I did. My God, the PS trip, funny, with the ghost talk. How many of you are coming for Madrid, Spain? Okay. You'll have to bear with me for a few days again. But no ghost talk now. Not me. I remember traveling from India to Germany, to Munich, or Frankfurt rather, and from Frankfurt to Vienna, Austria, and from Vienna I had to catch a flight to go to Florence to come for the PS trip. If you remember, well, my flight got delayed only by 8 hours, and I couldn't even come that day. After 8 hours when our flight took off, a bird came and hit the propeller of the flight, and the flight had to once again land in Vienna. So I couldn't make it that day, and I came the next day, if you remember. The day it happened, and I was sitting at the airport, I was so desperately trying to get in touch with Shankar Prabhu. You know? And I had a smartphone, of course. Very smart. Champagne gold. Very smart. It's called champagne gold, by the way. Very smart. And it was a limited edition when it was released. It wasn't even on sale easily. Champagne gold. Silver and black was easily available. But the person who got this for me had to really struggle hard to get it then, because it was just released. I can recollect well with my smartphone. I was sitting at the airport wanting to call Shankar Prabhu. And I looked at my phone, and I didn't even have 1 bar of the network. You know that? It says no service. Smartphone with the coolest app, cycloramic, and goes around. What do I do? Take a panoramic photo of myself sitting at the airport? How do I send it across to Shankar Prabhu? I'm sorry for all my pranks, I just don't like to be too serious. The topic we are discussing is so serious, it's better to laugh it out a little bit. Anyways, it's Friday evening, you're tired. How many are tired of revisions? Good, thank you. Just a refresher. I sat there wanting to make a call and I couldn't. And I went to the Wi-Fi area where the lounge is, VIP lounge, club class, and I tried to connect, but you need a password. And I sat there stuck. How do I tell these guys that I can't come today? And Shankar's trying to get in touch with, Shankar Prabhu was trying to get in touch with me like anything, He's trying to get, but I wasn't even reachable. And I'm sitting there knowing not what to do. And then I find a sophisticated European lady dressed up so meticulously. She was beautiful actually. About 65 years old. Age needs to be mentioned from a brahmachari in particular. Why only young girls can be beautiful? Why can't elderly ladies be beautiful? She was a beautiful aristocratic lady, sitting there dressed up so meticulously, and she had this old, run-down, beaten up Nokia 3663.5 or some model. I don't know what model it was. Those thick, fat phones. Not fat as in the fat slang here. The fat meaning the literal fat, not the good ones. And to type a text message there, you have to be a wrestler. And this lady, I didn't even know what language she was talking. Obviously it wasn't English, some European language. She was chatting. 45 minutes. And I'm thinking, that lady is such a useless, third grade, run down, beaten up phone, and I have the coolest, smartest phone, but I can't make a phone come on. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question for you. What is important in a phone? Its looks, the apps, or the connectivity? Oh, I asked a very philosophical question. Sorry, I asked too much of question based on the Vedanta Sutra. What's most important to the phone? Connectivity. Some of us are smartphones, isn't it? iPhone 5Ss. Some of us are not so smartphones, isn't it? Nokia 3600s. Some of us are very smartphones in terms of our charisma. Hey man, how are you doing? Wow! Some of us are very smartphones, iPhone 5s in terms of our looks, our hairstyles, our glasses, the brands, the movements. Smartphones, you know. And some of us are so not so smartphones. I picked up on that. Smart and not so smart. You remember the end begins? Yeah. I picked it up from you. Some of us are not so smartphones. So when we speak, our Gujarati accent comes in English. Prabhuji, you have such a fantastic bag. You have such a fantastic bag, Prabhuji. Your bag is very fantastic. Bag. One time, one devotee at Bhaktivedanta Manor, I was rushing towards the Mangalarti and said, Prabhuji, are you going for the morning program? I said, who's dead? You mourn for dead people, right? Morning. Then I realized he was saying, are you going for the morning program? Some of us are not so smartphones. Dressing styles, lousy. Hairstyles, there's no hairstyle. Look at mine. No hairstyle, you know? My God. Some of us are smartphones, some of us are not so smartphone. Krishna doesn't see smart or not so smart. What is important in a phone is not your apps. What is important in a phone is to stay connected. And the way to stay connected is to chant Hare Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna in the holy name of the Lord can bring about such a massive revolution in cleansing the consciousness of our hearts. It's such changed people who make a difference to the world. It's a collection of such people who have pure consciousness, clean intentions, pure motivations, who make a society of fantastic people, you know. Otherwise, we just have people who are selfish, who all have an agenda, who when they talk to us are saying something but meaning something else. We don't want to be surrounded by people like that. And we are responsible because we are one amongst them. Therefore, the C in the change stands for connect. Connect through chanting the holy name of the Lord. On a regular basis, exams or no exams, chant. And when we chant Hare Krishna, it's not just about purification. All of us are worried about focus. When we chant Hare Krishna and try to chant attentively, believe me, hand on my heart, our focus improves like anything. Whatever we do, whether we are chanting, whether we are reading, whether we are studying, whether we are working, our focus improves like anything we do because we are there. We are there. The problem with concentration is we are not there. You read this, 45 minutes of reading and 5 minutes of being there. 40 minutes of WhatsApp. Distracted. You know? Connect. Chant. The H in the chant, connect, H in the change stands for hear. Hearing. Connect through chanting is see, hear regularly. All of you come for these Harojamins, I believe, and this is the first time we have a less crowd. I've always come for a Harojamin, which is a full house always. And I can imagine why the crowd is less. It's just the last before the exam. So obviously there's going to be few people coming in, you know. Hear. Why hear? Sound is very important in changing our minds. Advertisements, television advertisements, media advertisements, sound. The new Gillette Fusion 5. 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 I want it. Look at social media. Power of sound and sight. What is advertisement in media? Combining sounds and sight to create an impact, bombarding our minds. You go anywhere, you see it. You go here, you see it. You go to television, you hear it. Constantly going on. And then if our friend comes in, it's great, man. I'm telling you, it's great. You get it. And you say, I want it. Every revolution begins with sound. A lady gets married to a guy, and the lady says, what's this stupid house that you brought me into? I need a bigger house. Sound. And the man, yeah, creates a revolution. Yes, I think I have to build a bigger house. Sound is extremely powerful. Battles have been waged and reached and fought based on the power of sound. One insult creates a revolution of feelings of revenge in the heart. One word of appreciation creates the revolution of encouraging feelings in the heart. Believe me, sound is a very powerful medium to create change within. And spiritual sound, amazing. How many of you have heard encouraging words from someone? I must tell all of you, you're amazing. No, not just to give an example, you are actually. Otherwise you're saying, just to give an example, I'm saying, you're amazing, all of you. I've been saying this to all the youth in London. All the youth in London is amazing, you know. In the middle of all this madness, you are even coming to listen to something like this? I can't believe it. Even Mumbai walas don't come. Indian Mumbai walas, I try to call them and they don't come. They say, hey Prabhu, we are busy. Busy. Oh, to come. And I see in London the youth coming. It's such an amazing thing, you know. Incredible. One time there was a couple of frogs who were all trying to get up on the top of a tower. Several feet high, and the frogs were all trying to catch up, getting there. And all the frogs gave up because everyone around was discussing, are you crazy, you little tiny frog, you think you're going to make up all the way there? Stop it, man, you'll die in the middle. All the frogs gave up. One reached way up there. And when the frog reached, all the media was there. With their microphones ready, cameras ready. Mr. Frog, we would like to know, what was it? What was the driving force? What was the motivation to reach all the way back when every other frog gave up? The frog said, huh? The frog was deaf. All the propaganda that was going on, the discouraging remarks that were going on, the frog hadn't heard because the frog was deaf, and therefore it could make its way up there. All the frogs who heard this discouraging stuff couldn't make it there. Ladies and gentlemen, material sound creates pollution. Spiritual sound creates purification. When we come and hear the message of Krishna consciousness, the message of Krishna consciousness helps us make the proper choices. What is right, what is wrong is understood by us here. And when we come together, we will be able to make the proper choices through the process of hearing. Come and hear what is right, what is wrong, what is the path of life, how to move on in life, how to transform. A in the change stands for association. A powerful transformation and change comes in our consciousness when we are with like-minded people. Being with like-minded people anyways is so much fun. People of the same age coming together, and when someone like Radha Vinod Prabhu and all of these gentlemen, you know, have dramas and they have the icebreakers. He begins with something, you know. I mean, I can never come up with something like that. It's so funny. You know, my God, it's fun. How many of you like Kirtan? Great. How many of you love to dance? You can raise your hands high up, no? I'd like to see how many of you love to dance. I was in a group. Can I tell something? You'll find me go all over the place, don't worry. I'll come back to my point. It's in line with what I'm saying. I was in a program, university program in Mumbai. It's a medical school. There were about 600 students for that program. And after that, the kirtan was happening and someone was chanting and I was dancing in the kirtan. So I was standing and all these young lads all there to dance. And these guys, they had long hair all the way up here. I'm sorry, all the way down here. Down here. And these guys, 5 of them they made a circle and they put their heads down like this, shaking their heads and moving all their heads. That's a dancing step apparently, I don't know. All possible. And then as they were doing that, they spotted me. And they pulled me, you also join. So I said, man, how do I join? All of you are doing a step that is with all this long hair. So those days I used to sport a very long shikha. Now I don't, because I have to travel to places where it's not easy to keep a long shikha, because I don't travel like this. So I had long shikha, So I pulled my knot of my shikha and opened it up. And then 5 of those guys and myself went together. I started moving my shikha. Oh my God. Chanting, dancing, kirtan, taking prasadam together, like-minded close friendships is so much fun. Associating with devotees who are selfless and are truly wanting to be with each other and serve each other and help each other is so much fun. Bhakti and Krishna consciousness is not a boring process. Do you by any chance think I'm a boring guy? I mean, you don't have to say it. If you think so, don't worry about it. I hate to just be serious. I love to laugh. Life is not to meant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Is that what life is meant for? One guy, British man, came to the Bhaktivedanta Manor temple at morning 5:30, 5:45, and our Sutapa Prabhu was there. And Sutapa Prabhu was taking him for a walk. And he said, so, what's the mission of your society? And Sutapa Prabhu said, chant Hare Krishna and be happy, that's all. That's what we teach people. So then they came to the temple room, and all the devotees were chanting. And someone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, all different people chanting in different ways. So the British man was so puzzled looking at the sight. He turned to Sutapa Prabhu, say it again, what did you say? What's the mission of this? Then Sutapa Prabhu realized that, he got it. He said, the mission of our society is chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Chant Hare Krishna, that's right. Struggle and be happy. I tell you, being together is so much fun. But more than just having that fun, like-minded association brings change. Raise your hand if you like. If you don't worry about it. Raise your hand if you ever felt inspired by another devotee to make one step extra, to take that little extra step in your own spiritual journey by seeing someone else. And therefore a very crucial element of change is the association of devotees, because when we are surrounded by like-minded people who are changing, in that company, we also feel inspired to change. In the United States, California, there are the redwood trees, and these redwood trees are massive and huge. 5,000 years old, some of them 2,500, 5,000-year-old trees, massive trees. The funniest part of the story is that their roots are not even deep. If the roots are not deep, how can a tree withstand the power of time in terms of storms, rains, tornadoes, hurricanes? Although the roots are not deep, all the roots are networked and intertwined with each other. Every single tree in the forest is intertwined with every other tree, networked with every other tree. And therefore, no matter what comes, can't shake those trees. Ladies and gentlemen, to bring in a change in our life, we need to connect by chanting. To bring in a change in our life, we need to hear the philosophy of the Gita, to make the right choices. To bring in a change in our life, we should be networked like the redwood trees, to be inspired by devotees around us. Well, the next is 3 minutes left. Can I finish this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can I finish this acronym? 3 minutes, don't worry. The N in the change stands for no procrastination. What do we say? Tomorrow. Prabhu, very good class. Nice class. Let the exams get over, then later. Prabhu, very good class. Let me just find a job, then later. Prabhu, very good class. Let me just find the right partner, the perfect partner. Then, Prabhu, very good class.
Let my child just get admission at Krishna Avanti. Prabhu, very good class. Let my child's marriage get done, no? Don't postpone. Procrastination. We will always have priorities at hand. As children, what was your priority? I want that bike. Do you bother about it today? While you're in college today and universities, what is your priority? Getting rid of the exam and getting good grades and just get done with it? Ask me, I don't even care. It's gone for me. When you have finished your college and university, what's the priority? Work, I need to get a job, and when you get a job, God. Stressed, well dressed, but depressed. That's a corporate. Stressed, well dressed, always depressed. And then work comes and everything's done, and then what? How can I say? I shouldn't ask questions like this in a public program. We've been going around for a while actually. Just waiting to just get the blessings from both the sides, Papa and Mama and everybody. And we will do it at Bhaktivedanta manner. Bhaktivedanta manner, Radha Gokula. I'll tell you, there'll always be priorities that'll tell you keep Krishna consciousness for tomorrow. There'll always be something in your life that will say do it tomorrow, because that's really important at that point of time. Never procrastinate and put Krishna consciousness on tomorrow and the change of consciousness for tomorrow. You know, what is teenage? Teenage means no money. Teenage means lot of time, lot of energy, no money. What is adulthood? Lot of money, lot of energy, no time. And what is old age? Lot of money, lot of time, no energy. As a teenager, no money. As an adult, no time. As an old man, no energy. There'll always be a no. We have to prioritize our Krishna consciousness, and therefore no procrastination. The G in the chain stands for guidance. We need guidance of experienced people. You know why we need guidance of experienced people and mentors in our spiritual life? If we want to change and be that element of change in the world and create that revolution, we want to have that guidance, because without guidance we will never be balanced. Either we are just studying without chanting, or we are chanting without studying. Chanting becomes a great excuse. Maya, Prabhu. I study money, all Maya stuff. Maya stuff. Prasad also Maya, then say no. Maya. And some people, Hare Krishna, no, they're scary people. I have to study, I have to gain it all up. Balance is given only by guidance. And therefore we need proper guidance from mentors. And finally, last but not the least, E in the change stands for endeavor, an effort. Unless we make that endeavor and that effort to change is impossible. Everything said and done, we keep hearing, we keep listening. There were 5 frogs sitting on the side of a wall, and one decided to jump into the wall. How many were there on the side of the wall? Not 4, 5. Because the one decided to jump, it didn't jump. You heard what I said? There were 5 frogs sitting on the side of a wall. One frog decided to jump in the well. How many were there? 5. Because one frog decided to jump, it didn't jump. And we, like the frog, keep sitting on the side of the aerodynamic room. I will jump tomorrow, I will do it, I will change it, and I'll keep going like that for the rest of my life. Therefore, an endeavor, an effort is needed to bring in that change. Ladies and gentlemen, when we change like that from within, one changed person, the world is better off. Less trouble in the world. And one more person gets inspired by that person, 2 less troubles in the world. If 5 people get inspired, 5 less problems in the world. And a change of spiritual revolution begins. Thanks to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, who went to this Western world, and with that little small thing, a tambourine in New York, started a revolution, a spiritual revolution by a personal resolution. He changed the world by his determination and his preaching and his compassion. None of us can change the world. We can all try to just take what he has said seriously, change ourselves, and believe me, you, the world will be a changed place. If you change, there'll be at least one man or woman who will be extremely inspired. And here is a fantastic gentleman. Here is a fantastic lady. I want to be like this person. Happy, selfless, character, integrity, wonderful human being. If this is what it means to be a devotee of Krishna, I want to be one. And therefore, to conclude, we began by discussing how there's a revolution of technology, revolution of science, revolution of finance, revolution in different areas of life, but there has been no internal change. Internal change only comes by a spiritual revolution. And spiritual revolution means a change. And what is a change? C for connect to charity. It cleans the heart. H for hearing. Prioritize reading and hearing the philosophy of the Gita so we know what are the right choices to make. A for association. Together we'll have fun, but together we will also be networked like the redwood trees and stand strong to create a community of change. N for no procrastination. Not just saying tomorrow, tomorrow. We will all be distracted and we will all have priorities at different time and we must attend to them. But we can't compromise with our Krishna conscious priorities. And G for guidance. We won't be extremes. If we have guidance, we will always be balanced. And E for effort and endeavor. We don't want to be that frog who sits on the side of the wall and says, I decided. You have to jump in and do it. I am 5 minutes late. Sorry about that. Thank you very much for your kind attention and thank you all very much for coming here despite your exams. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaur Gopal Prabhu.